lovely, lovely dreamers. Hello to you, and you, and you, and you, and you, you, you. Hello. Good evening from Italy. It's another hot evening here. It's extremely hot outside. It's one of the hottest summers ever. It's Wednesday evening, and as I have told you, it's time for another episode of Mystery Summer. During summer, I'm going to upload only one true crime story a week, say due to the lack of traffic. So every Wednesday there is a soft-spoken or whispered story. Hello again, I'm Christina and I make ASMR videos. Welcome or welcome back. Sit back, relax, close your eyes and let's listen to another story. And this story is one of the most bizarre ones that I have ever encountered. It's really strange, and there are still doubts about the verdict and about the person who did this. The world is split. The family of the victim is split in two, and half of them think that justice was made, and the other half think that someone got away with murder. We are talking today about the tragic death of a wonderful person whose name was Mary Yoder. I need to put on my glasses. Mary Yoder was a beloved mother and wife, and she was very loved by her friends and all the people in her community. She was 60 years old, and she had a very active lifestyle. Those who knew her tell about her that she was the personification of health itself. So she led a very healthy life. She had a very healthy lifestyle. She was obsessed with supplements and healthy food and different herbs. She took a lot of supplements on a daily basis. She knew a lot of herbs, she knew how to use them, and she also grew most of them in her garden. She was also a very loving person, very caring, and she was married to Bill. They both had run the chiropractic family business. So Mary was Mary was a chiropractor. In fact, both of them were. Both Mary and Bill. They had been married for 38 years. And they were the image of the perfect family from the outside world. A loving wife, a loving husband, prosperous business, healthy lifestyle. Mary looked absolutely stunning. And I mean, not she looked amazing for her age, she really looked amazing. She really took care of herself. She had a beautiful career. She worked hard. She was a hard-working lady, but she was very passionate about what she did. And still she had a beautiful family also. She found that balance in life. She was that kind of example how to live healthy, in a healthy way, how to take care of yourself. So she was the image of health, to say so. And when she became out of the blue violently ill and died within 48 hours, everyone was of course shocked. So you have a perfectly fit lady who was perfectly healthy, and out of the blue she became ill and died very, very fast. It was 2015, summertime. It was the 20th of July. As usual, Mary had a very full day. Her agenda was full of schedule of patients at the chiropractic clinic. That morning Mary felt perfectly fine. She was well. She visited her mother during lunchtime, but later that afternoon, it was around 4 in the afternoon, Mary started to feel really sick, and she started to throw up. She had abdominal pain and diarrhea. But still she resisted, and she left home. She left her clinic to go home 6:30. But it wasn't over, so probably she might have thought that it was just a stomach bug or something. She continued to feel really, really sick the whole night, all night long. next day in the morning, Mary was really pale and exhausted. It wasn't any longer that image of a perfectly healthy woman, fit and strong. Bill called their daughter. Their daughter was a physician, and she advised her father to get Mary to the hospital right away. Mary's condition succeeded to shock even the doctors. They couldn't find a diagnosis, a correct one. Mary's health deteriorated very, very fast. Very fast, and on the 22nd of July 2015, after 48 hours after becoming so ill, unfortunately Mary died. She died in hospital. So, because she passed away in a hospital, and because her daughter also asked for a toxicology test was performed, and the results were even more shocking. The results showed that Mary died from an overdose of a medicine that is used to treat gout. But you have to use this medicine under a very strict supervision of your physician, of your doctor, because you have to take a very, very small amount of it. So it is a medicine used to treat gout, arthritis, things like that. But if you take too much, this overdose will affect all your organs, and they were shut down, resulting in cardiac arrest. So they wondered, how did that substance, that medicine, how did it get into Mary's body? Because Mary was super healthy, and this test performed revealed that she was a super healthy lady, but this substance affected her very, very much. Mary didn't suffer from gout or arthritis or whatever. So how did those pills got into her system? Mary, as I have told you, used to take a lot of supplements, and they wondered if somehow those supplements had been contaminated somehow. But in the long run, the detectives decided that Mary had been intentionally poisoned. But who would have possibly wanted to take the life of this so loved doctor? She was so loved by everyone. She was so loved by her family, by her children, by the people at work, by the members of her community. Everyone loved Mary. You know how it is when things like this happen. The first suspect is, of course, the husband. So the detective started to investigate Bill. And Bill acted a little bit suspicious. A little bit more. And he seemed pretty... He didn't care too much, but I don't know, sometimes people are not able to show their real emotions, and in front of such a loss or in front of shock, some people tend to act strange. So they analyzed Bill's behavior and decided and could tell that he wasn't really grieving. He was not a grieving widower. And still, there was more. That why I told you that this is a really bizarre case and so twisted. Then the police found out that he started seeing another woman. So he had barely loved, had just lost his wife of so many years, a whole life. And right after Mary's disappearance, he started seeing another woman, but it was not an ordinary woman. It was, guess who? He started seeing his sister-in-law. So he started dating Mary's sister. And talking to friends, police could find out that Bill was a quiet and reserved person, and Mary was quite the opposite. But you know what they say, that the opposite attract each other. So Mary was friendly, outgoing, smiling, and he was reserved and very quiet. So could Bill have been the author? And they decided to focus on this lead, to follow this lead. So they had a husband who seemed not very much affected by his wife's death. Mary returned home feeling sick, and instead of rushing her to hospital, he had been waiting a whole night, and the next day in the morning he called his daughter to ask her what to do. He left the hospital very soon, and he didn't care at all. And very soon he started dating another woman, so the police were convinced that he really had something to do with this, and they decided to dig deeper. But not the shock. The police received a letter, and in the letter it was written that the author of this terrible crime was not Bill. It was Mary's beloved son Adam, and that he had given her that medicine, a lot of it, because he wanted his money and couldn't wait. He wanted to take his part of the family fortune, to say so, and that he found a way to get it. And also in the letter it was told that they could find a vial of that medicine under the passenger's seat of Adam's car, Adam's Jeep. Of course, investigators called Adam, brought him in, and searched the Jeep. And Adam was really calm while they were searching the Jeep. He was calm, he was smoking. He didn't expect them to find something in there, but they found the vial. They found the vial together with a receipt for that medicine. And the receipt was connected to an email address that had Adam's name in it, so that Gmail address seemed to be Adam's email address. And the police and everyone were shocked, even Adam. He was in shock. But why would Adam want to take his own mother's life? And still, Adam had a very strong alibi. He was gone to Long Island to visit his sister, and he returned after his mother's death. So it was clear that someone was trying to frame him. vial was taken to the lab. It was examined and they found that on the vial there were Katie Conley fingerprints and her DNA. Katie was the receptionist at Mary's chiropractic office. So practically, Mary was her boss. And she was, from time to time, to say so, Adam's girlfriend. So they dated for a while, broke up, dated again, broke up again, and so on. And of course they brought Katie in. And there are videos on YouTube if you want to see on the, Katie's interrogation. So she admitted that she had sent that letter, but she justified this, saying that she loved Mary so much and that she was really afraid of Adam. She said that she had to break up with Adam because he was controlling and she was afraid of him. She even wrote a very nice text dedicated to Mary on her Facebook page after Mary had passed away. And she really seemed to be sincere. Those were really nice words. And Katie talked a lot about love in that text dedicated to her boss. But what could have possibly been her motive? She was Adam's girlfriend. At that time she wasn't, and Mary was her boss. She worked for Mary. She pretended to care and love Mary, appreciate her. Investigators found out that Katie signed for that vial of, I don't know if I am allowed to say the name of that medicine. That's why I say it's a medicine that treats gout and arthritis and the inflammation in the body. She signed for the vial at the clinic, which explained why her fingerprints and DNA were on the vial. But still, that was part of her job. That's what she did on a daily basis. And the police decided to look into that email address. And they found out that that address had been created on a computer at the clinic, and that it had been accessed via Katie's mobile phone. and that Adam had never accessed that email address from any of his personal devices. And moreover, the password for that email was really strange. It was Adam is G-A-Y. The medicine was purchased with a gift card, and that gift card was bought by Katie. They checked her searching history, chronology, and found that she searched for the name of that medicine on her phone. They found out that Katie and Adam had a very strange relationship, that she accused him of different things, and she even gave him supplement back in 2015 to help him focus on school, and he started experience for a short period of time symptoms similar to his mother's. So there was a lot of evidence, and the police considered that they had enough evidence to arrest Katie and accuse her of second-degree murder. But it seems so strange. Why did she really do this? To get Adam back, to hurt him, to punish him, to revenge? Why? To make him pay? Did she want him to pay for something that he hadn't committed, just to revenge herself, or because he had broken up with her? So Katie was accused that she had done this in order to get Adam back. And it was indeed for a short period of time. Adam found comfort in her, and they got back together for a while. Her friends and those who knew them said that Adam was really close to his mother. So after Mary's leaving to a better world, the couple reunited, but it didn't last. They broke up again. And still, the defense accused Billy, saying that he had all the opportunities in the world to place that medicine in Mary's protein shake before she went to work on that morning of July 20. Many people, including Mary's family, think that Bill and Mary's sister affair had begun before and not after Mary's disappearance, Mary's death. So he would have had a better motive. He wanted his freedom. He wanted to be free to be together with her sister. And so there was a lot of reasonable doubt, and the first trial was a mistrial. Bill testified that he had been crying a lot, seeing his wife suffering. Their daughter testified that her mother's disappearance really affected her father, although he didn't seem to. People react differently in front of the others. And there was a second trial with a verdict, and Katie was found guilty of first-degree manslaughter on November 6, 2017, and she was sentenced to 23 years in a correctional facility for women. Up to today, Katie says that she is innocent, still accusing Adam of poisoning his mud. After this verdict, some of Mary's family members still believe that the wrong person is behind bars, and that Bill is the real author of this, and that he might have been perfectly capable of doing this. And they are not alone. There are a lot of support groups that fight for Katie's release from prison. A lot of people think that the wrong person is there, and that everything had been framed. They had framed Katie and made her pay for something she hadn't committed. People say that again, Bill gave first dose to his wife. He put it in her morning shake, and she felt ill. He took her to the hospital, and he was the only person there, and so those who believe in the other theory, in this theory, say that he acted there in hospital and gave her another dose because a huge amount of that medicine was found in her system, and she must have died earlier. So it's lodging that there was a second dose, and that second dose was probably given to her in hospital. And being a computer used at clinic, and so both Billy and Adams could have had access to it. And I also read that a rule in that clinic was that mobile phones were kept in a separate room altogether, and that Katie didn't have a password on that phone, so it was easy to frame her up. I don't know what to say. So, and the official verdict is that Mary did it in order to either revenge or get back to her boyfriend. And there's another theory that has a lot of supporters, and that theory says that it was her husband, the one who did this. Anyways, it's really, really bizarre. Katie isn't eligible for parole until 2037. So, Mary's three sisters believe that Katie is innocent and that Bill should be in instead of her. So, I'm really curious what you think. What you think about this story. What's your opinion? So leave a comment below if you want. And if you enjoyed this soft-spoken story, please leave a comment, drop a like, or even consider subscribing. Thank you very much. I know that I haven't done a whispered story in a while, but there has been a lot of controversy lately about true crime ASMR, and some people consider that it is disrespectful. So these cases that are somehow new, I prefer to tell the story in a soft-spoken voice, because I don't want to be accused that I am not respectful or something like that. And older stories, vintage stories that are really stories, I will whisper them. Maybe next time I'll come with a whispered one. Thank you very much again. So I have some roses here for you. These are for you, sharing them with you. Thank you very much.